Astorga is a town in the province of León, northern Spain. It lies 27 miles southwest of the provincial capital of León, and is the head of the council of La Maragatería. The river Tuerto flows through it. As of 2009, its population was about 12,242 people. It is the fifth most populated municipality in province of León, which has over 211 municipalities. Astorga predates the 910 AD Kingdom of León by 875 years. Astorga lies in the area of the Maragatos, a small ethnic and cultural community with distinctive customs and architecture. The town lies along the French route of the Way of St. James. St. Turribius of Astorga was bishop of the city in the 5th century. History. The timeline of Galician history that includes Astorga has artifactual evidence stretching back over 200,000 years, predating the Paleolithic. 130 miles away from Astorga in the Atapuerca Mountains exists a rich fossil record of the earliest humanoids in Spain. The scientific study of these remains provide priceless information about the appearance and the way these humanoids live. The regional government of Castile and León has designated the site an espatio-cultural. Tin artifacts dated to c. 2750 BC using metallurgical diffusion chronologic dating were found in the area of Astorga. Artifacts such as tube and double ring axes were located in Astorga and are significant to an Atlantic cultural complex from the Bronze Age period, c. 1300 to 700 BC that are included in the Castro cultures. Astorga in the Iron Age came under the cultural influence of the Celts. The local Celtic peoples inhabited the area around 275 BC, known as the Astures and the Cantabri. Later become one of the Roman strongholds in the region they called Astorica. During Cantabrian Wars, Roman legions via Victrix and Exgemina were sent and established a castra on the Leonesian land. This castra was strategically placed between the Jurga and Tuerto rivers. The castra was important because of Astor's revolutions and proximity to gold mines of Las Medullas. After the Punic Wars in 146 BC, the Romans turned their attention to conquering Hispania. The tribe of the Galatae, 60,000 strong, according to Paulus Orosius, faced the Roman forces led by Decimus Junius Brutus Callaicus in 137 BC in a battle at the river Douro. For this time, Gallic fighters joined the Roman legions, to serve as far away as Dacia and Britain. The final extinction of Celtic resistance was the aim of the violent and ruthless Cantabrian Wars fought under the Emperor Augustus from 28 to 19 BC. The Roman city was founded in 14 BC, being entitled by Emperor Octavian as Asturica Augusta, now known as Astorga. It became an important administrative and military center. The Roman walls were rebuilt by Bishop Nuno around 1242 and they underwent several repairs during the Middle Ages. The city had thermal baths with hot, warm, cold water systems, saunas and two main sewer systems still in use today. Ruins of Roman baths are still visible today. In 35 AD, as mining plans developed, this Roman Hispania Castra was redesigned and built with the help of the army into a city, a provincial capital, and the meeting place of 4 military roads. Via de la Plata from Maruta de la Plata is an ancient commercial and pilgrimage path that connects Astorga to Mérida. It was conceived and built as a trade route for the exploitation of gold. The Roman causeway allowed the Romans to conquer tribes such as the Calaici, the Astures, and the Vexilología. Leos. Pliny the Elder in 73 AD spoke of Via de la Plata from. The road stretched around 560 miles and the Romans' highest importance for the gold mines of Las Medulas and the copper mines of Rio Tinto. Astorga was the main city in northwest Spain during the Roman Empire. Plinius, Roman author, naturalist, and natural philosopher, as well as naval and army commander, called the city Urbs Magnifica. The Via Platea went from Astorga to Emerita. One of the first 3 bishoprics in Spain was founded in Astorga, known as the Roman Catholic Diocese of Astorga. The title of Bishop of Astorga is one of the oldest religious charges of Europe. Astorga was sacked by the Visigothic king Theodoric II sometime during time of his throne. On the 5th of October 456, at the battle at the Campus Paramus, 12 miles from Astorga on the Urbicus, Theodoric II, 8th Visigoth king from 453 to 466 AD, leads an army into Spain and defeats Riccia, Subic king of Galicia from 488 to 456. During the waves of invasion of the peninsula by the Germanic tribes, one bishop was the noted Toribio. He documented the conversion of the Subic king Remusmund to Arianism, and worked to restore the churches destroyed by the Visigoths. The bishop was able to travel to Rome, from which he brought back what is believed to be a relic of the true cross, for which he founded the monastery of Santo Toribio de Liébana, where it is still preserved. Because Romans had control of the city, Christianity became very popular in this area during the early church. There is a legend that Santiago and St. Paul both preached in Astorga, and there is proof that there was a bishopric around the 3rd century. At the very beginning of Leo I's pontificate, in the years 444 to 447, Taribius, the bishop of Astorga in León, sent to Rome a memorandum warning that Priscillianism was by no means dead, reporting that it numbered even bishops among its supporters, and asking the aid of the Roman See. The distance was insurmountable in the 5th century. Germanic tribes, the Visigoths, took control over Astorga and destroyed the Roman city. However, it prospered with the help of Saints Toribio, Fructuoso, and Valerio. After the Berbers' withdrawal to join the blazing Berber rebellion and the campaigns of Alfonso I of Asturias against the Andalusians, the city was abandoned, being in the largely empty buffer zone between Moors and Christians known at the time as the Desert of the Duero, and was part of the repoblacion effort carried out a century later during the reign of Ordono I of Asturias. Astorga suffered from decadence until the 11th century, when the city became a major stop on the French route for the pilgrims to the tomb of St. James in Santiago de Compostela. Construction of the cathedral began in the 15th century and finished in the late 18th century. Jews were living in the fortified section of Astorga as early as the 11th century. Later they inhabited 2 quarters in the city. A street called the Garden of the Synagogue formerly ran beside the old city wall. Many Jews in Astorga were forcibly converted to Christianity in 1230–31. Although there is no record of the fate of the Jews of Astorga during the 1391 massacres, they suffered in the persecutions of 1412. At the synod held in Valladolid in 1432, the Astorga community claimed privileges exempting them from payment of crown taxes. The community existed until the expulsion of the Jews from Spain in 1492. Jews established the trades in the city. To this day, Astorga is the home of value-adding and special products. In 1528 Hernán Cortés brought Mexican cacao bean to Spain. In the Museum of Chocolate in Astorga, 16th-century hot chocolate mugs are displayed. Astorga is the European birthplace of chocolate. One sees Astorga chocolate all over the region. The Marquisate of Astorga, the diocese and the Maragatería muleteers made Astorga a pioneer in the elaboration of chocolate from the 17th century. In 1914 there were 49 chocolate manufacturers in town. In 1747 Antonio Martin's book contains the recipe Mantecadas de Astorga. The European Union designated them an historically and geographically significant part of Spanish cuisine. References indicating that the recipe originated with a nun from the Holy Spirit convent in Astorga, who later left the convent and popularized the product. In the official journal of the European Union UN 45011 Regulatory Board, through the Certification Committee, established standards for Mantecadas de Astorga. Astorga's Chamber of Commerce reports the amount of Mantecadas de Astorga carried by the Spanish railways in 1930 was 208 tons. A high percentage of the product is sold to tourists along with the well-known Heráldica de Astorga. During the Peninsular War, Astorga was besieged by the French Napoleonic troops. Astorga was the farthest town in the Iberian Peninsula in which the Emperor Napoleon resided. The siege of Astorga in the 21st of March the 22nd of April 1810 was an attempt by French forces to capture Astorga, Spain, in a campaign of the Peninsular War. Astorga was located on the flank of the French invasion of Spain and Portugal, and was meant to be used as a headquarters during the campaign. Because of its location, Astorga was a place for pilgrims to rest and get ready to climb the mountains in the west or to rejuvenate after climbing east. Astorga had 21 hospices. Today, there is the Hospital de las Hermanas de la Caridad, which is a medical facility in front of the cathedral that was built after the destruction of the 12th century hospital that was consequently destroyed in 1756. Camino de Santiago is 485-mile pilgrimages, also called Street James Way, to the cathedral in Santiago de Compostela, where the remains of the Apostle St. James are buried. This is the third largest pilgrimage in Christianity for more than 1,000 years, with a stop in Astorga. The movie The Way is an inspirational film of 2010 starring Martin Sheen and Emilio Estevez walking the Camino de Santiago. During the second half of the 19th century, Astorga enjoys the arrival of the railway and development of the current city, which expands outside its Roman walls. Astorga is again a significant network of road connections, and it recovers the social and economical vibrancy, which has tourism as one of its main focal points. Attractions: Cathedral de Santa Maria de Astorga, 19th century episcopal palace, designed by Antoni Gaudí. Town hall, construction started in 1683. It is a Baroque edifice with 3 towers in its facade, the middle one including the bells. Roman archaeological remains, including those of the original military camp, the sewers, 2 baths, remains of the forum and several mosaics, remains of the ancient city walls. Mantecadas Velasco Chocolate Museum. Shopping, dining and lodging. Mantecadas Velasco pastries authentic to Astorga. La Malaquina, a 100-year-old award-winning confectionery company with shops next to the town hall and Gaudí Palace of Astorga. Events: Festividad de Santa Marta, bullfights and amp fireworks. Notable people: Miguel Arias Bardou, painter. Twin towns: Moissac, France; Clavijo, Spain; Braga, Portugal; Royce, Spain.